Phoenix for 200 laps. Sixth machine around off turn 2. Huge wreck there. Samosian drives it in on the new tires off of turn 4. Caught Samosian, the new tire fall, more tire fall, one tire across the line. Caught Samosian is still away near Kansas. Welcome to Fort Worth, Texas, here in Texas, to the Texas Motor Speedway in the Legacy version, as you can see, as we are here for the championship race for the SuperStar ARCA Cup Season 1, race number 12, and the season finale. Tonight, we crown a champion. Really only 3 people that can get it: Connor Samosian, Alex Anderson, and Samuel Hoff. But Samuel Hoff and Alex Anderson, they're going to need a lot of help if they want to steal the championship tonight. Connor Samosian looking with a great lead going into tonight, about 55 points. Anderson's gonna have to beat him by 11 spots tonight if he wants a chance. Now, we did mention last week drops could play a factor, but this race cannot be dropped. So no matter where you finish in this race, that will be on your points. That will be the points you get in this race, and it will not be dropped. So they really cannot afford to have a bad race tonight.
Yeah, pretty much. Samuel Hoff needs to be more beyond perfect, and he has to be perfect. He has to win this race. He has to hope for a lot of bad luck for those 2 other drivers. He wants a chance.
Yeah, especially we saw with Nathan Johnson at Dega. He missed the field as well. So missing the field, that's definitely an opportunity. Missing the field tonight can happen, but you definitely cannot afford missing a field, because I mean then you would have DNQ points, and you'd be taking DNQ points tonight. And you'd go up with a big fat 0 on your tally tonight. Or how many DNQ points are, but that can possibly happen with if you get an incident. But definitely a lot. You're a lot more in control here compared to Talladega. But currently we got qualifying on our way, and this is what's going to matter.
Very important.
There's that 39 machine on the racetrack. 39 of Tim Clausen. Coming off of turn 4, going to finish his first lap. Going to run a 31.517. That puts him about 5th as of now, as he just falls back as Dan Riverark goes to the top of the board. Now there's Samosian, Connor Samosian to the top of the board, and then Timothy Presley and Travis Sheed, best Tim there.
Yeah, in practice, the fastest lap time was a 30.460. It doesn't look like it's going to be anywhere near that lap time for qualifying.
Let's see what Samosian does here on this second lap. Probably just set up the first lap a little bit. Didn't want to overdrive it. Just kind of get a banker lap in. Off of turn 4. Let's see what Samosian can do. This lap is important. If he can make the first row, it won't matter. But a 31.079, that's going to put him in 5th. So Connor Samosian not locked in yet tonight. Here comes Samuel Hoff. Coming off turn number 4. Complete his lap. Now he is in a hunt for this championship tonight, but he's going to need he needs to beat Samosian by 26 points and Anderson by 16. So he's going to need a lot of, well, not 16 spots, sorry, not points, but he's going to need a lot of help from the other 2 tonight.
Just top of the board.
And Alex Anderson at the top of the board. We'll see if he can stay on the front row. There'll definitely be a lot of pressure, not having to worry about missing the race to the heats, and just kind of get that nerves out of the way. He is currently on the pole. As most of the field has set their lap currently, I believe we have 7 drivers going home tonight. Possibly 9. Actually, I think it's 8. So 8 drivers going home tonight, depending on who joined back or not from leaving earlier. And only one of them out of the 2 left joined back. So I think we have 8 drivers going home tonight. We'll get that official number once we get to the LCQ tonight. Brock Morris, he's back tonight. We've seen him a couple in the first half of the season. After Watkins took a break, came back from one race, and now he's back for the finale tonight. So let's see what he do on his first lap from across the line. Or 31.154.
15.
That's a 15.
Improved though. Only about 2/10 off the pole. And really good in ARCA series. In his 7 starts this season, he has 4 top 5. So definitely one of the drivers to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely as well. Brock, very quick driver. He's been consistent pretty much all season. In the races he was in, able to pick up a win at Watkins Glen in a dominant fashion, and here comes off of turn 4 across the line, 31.206, slower on the second lap. So Brock Morris is gonna have a lot of work to do in his heats to get a better starting spot, but he's definitely got some work to do.
The only driver on the racetrack trying to improve their lap time. He does not improve. Right now, that puts Alex Anderson on pole position here tonight, and he's locked into the main event.
And Jared Skinner as well. So those two don't have to worry about having to get wrecked out of a heat. As qualifying's as just wrapped up, so we already said Alex Anderson and Jared Skinner will be on the front row for tonight's feature. But we got the heats to get through now. So heat 1 gridding up now. The top 10 will go on in a 10-lap heat. Let's take a look at our grid for heat number 1 tonight. Starting on the front row for this heat number 1, we have Tim Clausen, and Connor Simosi will start alongside him. Starting behind him will be the 97 of Mark Cofield and Tony Shelton in the 79. 97 of Mark Cofield, sorry. Jimmy Genkis will round out the top 5. Christopher Morton will start 6th. 7th will be Thomas Spencer. 8th will be Craig Martin. 9th will be the 16 of Dan Riverark. And 10th will be Dan Adams. 11th will be Lucas Blake. 12th will be Tate LaPrette. And Nathan Fryer will be 13th. And rounding our 14-car heat number 1 will be Michael James in that 89 machine. So these heats will be 10 laps for 10 drivers going on. We're going to have three heats tonight. We'll have our LCQ, of course, and 100 lap features tonight. So we got a good amount of racing here tonight. But first, we got to get through these heats, see who will make them. As Simosian on the front row, definitely going to be in a much more controllable spot, but just keep an eye out, and anything could happen. It's definitely, personally, if I had a championship on the line tonight, I'd definitely be nerve-wracked of just trying not to get wrecked here in this race and just in heats and missing the race tonight.
Yeah, that's probably the main thing for Zabosian, because it's really the only. Yeah, that's pretty catastrophic, but that's pretty much. If you make the field, you have a really good shot at winning the championship, no matter what. But you never know what's happening in these heat races.
Exactly. So we'll see what can happen as we're coming down to the pace lap. Let's take a look at our weather tonight really quickly, as it does look very sunny today, and it is only partly cloudy. But 129-degree track temp, 85-degree ambient temperature, the 6-mile-per-hour wind, 32 percent relative humidity. So very hot track. This is gonna be a very slick racetrack out here tonight. So that'll be a big factor coming. Who can win this race tonight, and who will be fast tonight? Gonna handle a loose race car on a very slick racetrack. We'll see who manages the rear tires as well. But the pace car gonna take that hard left turn onto pit road. We're on our way for the first heat of the night. Already got a car in the wall towards the back of the field there. Keeps it straight. I believe that was actually, no, that was not Dan Adams.
It was Tate LaPrette, I believe.
Gonna work his way up just a little bit. Only gonna beat 4 drivers in your heats here, so not too tall of a task. Currently, Sabosian sliding in line into second as we got a couple battles here around the top 5 position. And Tony Shelton on the outside of Thomas Spencer. Shelton using the kind of the middle to upper lane, staying around that seam.
You know how multi-groove this racetrack really is. Usually the old Texas is mostly bottom lane dependent, but I mean, you never know with the new tires and whatnot, if you can move the outside of the work. But once the older tires come in, which you weren't really seeing in the heats, but maybe in the main event, we'll see if the top side comes in a little bit.
So we'll have to see, and also with the very hot track tonight, I mean, just having tire management is going to be very big as well. So we'll have to see what lane kind of heats up, cools down after more cars running on it, and see which one gets better, which one has more grip. I don't really expect them to see way up against the wall like we have seen before at some other tracks. It's typically not how really Texas goes, but we'll have to see if anyone can find speed up there, and it'll be really fast.
Right now, Zabosian just staying in second for now, but the top 5, top 6 still all pretty close together already, 4 laps in this race.
They one single file is settled in.
Zabosian. Side by side will be clear. Almost off of turn 2.
Yeah, side by side for lead now. Tim Clausen counters Zabosian. Zabosian on the bottom. Clausen way up against the wall.
Well, that wore out for him. It's going we were just talking about, but it looks like it won't. Zabosian's going to clear for the race lead.
But Clausen's coming back on the outside lane, trying to get to the back to the outside, trying to build the momentum up there. Halfway here through heat number 1. Clausen with a good run up there. Jerry for the grip, got a little tight, it looks like, off the outside. That's going to allow Cofield to go to the bottom. Also got the slot back in line. Still going to be stuck to the top as Spencer now looks to the inside.
Cofield's up to second now as Zabosian looking to pull away in these next 5 laps. They get 4 now.
We have 4 to go here in heat number 1. Going down to the turn number 1 and 2. Still side by side for third between Clausen and Spencer. Clausen's kind of been up to the top most of this heat so far.
Lucas Blake looking inside of Dan Redberg. Side by side for that 6th place spot. Ooh, I think that's Redberg getting the outside wall hard. He'll drop down to 8th place. Still get a transfer though, but still hard hit for that 16 machine. He might have some. Looks like that right front might be a little damaged. Could be wheel damage. Don't want to fall back too far. Looks like Dane Adams and company got on pretty hard for these last few spots.
Yeah, Dan Adams up in 9th. As we got a car on the wall right behind them. I believe that may have been Christopher Morton. Yes, that was. So Christopher Morton getting to the wall, entering 1 there. He's a little farther back. He's got 2 laps to go here. Side by side between Dan Adams and Michael James. This is for 9th. Caitlin Pretz right behind, looking for 10th. Gonna drive it in deep there to 3. For the final lap here in heat number 1. Pretz falling a little farther back.
These guys are racing to be pretty hard to get them transfer spot here.
Gonna be side by side. Lepret's going into turn number 1 and 2. Gonna get to the inside of Adams. So the battle for the transfer spot between these two. The right contact. Lepret's gonna go around.
Here goes Morin.
Christopher Morin gets an opportunity, but there's a pit crash behind.
Wow.
Nathan Fryer involved there as well. He got hooked, but I think Lupret might sneak away.
Wow.
Actually, no, because he was just involved in that. Christopher Moore's going to sneak away with the final transfer spot.
What a wins the
battle
heat,
there.
But man.
but Connor Sabosian picks up the heat win.
That's kind of just shows you how crazy some things can happen here in these heat races when people get desperate, make some probably not best decisions in the moment.
Yeah, just kind of just the thing there, just getting through the heats, but just trying to make your way in. I mean, I've kind of been at the same side of that, just making a desperate move late, and just you kind of find yourself in a worse spot. But it happens. But just kind of gotta regroup. You just gotta regroup and build yourself back up from that. Still got LCQ to get through for those drivers. You just got that wreck there. So there we go. So now the Heat 1 is underway. Heat 2 grading up. We're going to take a look at our results here for Heat number 1. As Connor Sposey and Mark Cofield finishing 1-2. Tim Clausen finishing 3rd. Thomas Spencer finishing 4th. Craig Martin finishing 5th. Lucas Blake 6th. Tony Shelton in 7th. Dan River in 8th. Michael James in 9th. Christopher Morton has been 10th. It finishes 10th in our final transfer spot there. Tate LaPrette, Nathan Fryer, Dan Adams, Jimmy Geckens 11th through 14th. They will have to go to the LCQ or consolation, whatever you want to call it, tonight after these next two. As Heat 2 rolling off now, let's take a look at our grid for Heat number 2. Daniel Walnick's able to pick up the pole for Heat number 2 at least. Jeremiah Holt will start alongside him. Starting Heat number 3 will be the 46 of Dustin Coggin. I'll have the 18 of Travis Sheed alongside him. Running our top 5 will be the 05 of Brock Morris. So we'll have Dwayne Young to his outside in that 6th place spot. 7th will be the 44 of Dave Wright, and 8th will be the 15 of Joshua Clatterbuck. 9th will be Andrew Guetta, and 10th will be Michael Malm. And starting outside, having to make some moves up already with the 95 of Alex McQueen and the 93 of Tim Basketball. And 13th will be Noah Benson, and Zachary Tyler will start 14th. 14 car field for Heat number 2 as well for 10 laps. We'll see what they can do.
Yeah, we saw a few drivers get a bit loose on those cold tires the first few laps, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Not too loose, not too tight. We saw a few drivers at the outside wall off of turn 2, but kind of just typical mile-and-a-half racing, but here we go.
Green flag in the air. We are underway for Heat number 2. Smolnick's and Holt going to be side by side on the start. Going down into turn 1. Walnuts to the clear. Just coming off a race win from Dover last week. And a car right on the apron. He's going to be sideways. He's going to save it. A great save there. Dave Wright. He's also got a car on the wall. Travis Sheed up in the wall right up in front of him. Losing more spots. He's going to fall back toward just inside the top 10. But the top 2 after that has pulled away by a big margin as they're battling back for 3rd between Morris and Holt, and also Dwayne Young as well.
Top 2 pulling away pretty early on. A lot different than we saw last race. The top 2 didn't pull away too much. It was still pretty much a 5-car kind of train at the end there. But now kind of separating a few little packs of 4 here and then the pack of 4 behind. But down for the top 5 spot right now.
Clatterbuck staying right there in 5th as Holt's going to move to the bottom. Going to try and pull alongside. He's side by side down into turn number 3. Holt trying to clear up, not able to get there yet. Now he's going to look to the inside. They're going to be 3-1 Dwayne Young, and Clatterbuck's going to hit the wall hard. He's going to go back down in front of Guetta. He's going to make contact. He's going to blow the engine.
Wow.
And that will take him out of this heat.
I didn't think that would blow his engine. I think in front of him, Dwayne Young got loose, clipped the apron. They sent it 3 wide. Clatterbuck just hits the outside wall, and then somehow he blows his engine. No, he hit the wall hard.
Oh, huge hit there. Yeah, bounces off Guetta, blows the engine by hitting back up the racetrack. So that will be Clatterbuck out of this heat.
This is about for the transfer spot. You got Alex McQueen, Noah Benson, and Tim McBasketball. Travis Sheets on the inside of Guetta. Ooh, low contact up there, up in 3 and 4.
Side by side here still with Sheed and sorry, Sheed and Guetta, yeah. So down into turn number 1, off of turn number 2 now. 5 to go here in heat number 1. Halfway through, Michael Long trying to find his way by. It's the battle for the, not just in front of the transfer spot. It's Alex McQueen in that transfer spot right now. As basketball right behind him, with McQueen right in front of us. McQueen's gonna go to the inside of Noah Benson.
He got a bit loose on the exit there.
Down to the 1, McQueen on the bottom. Still trying to make some moves. Still pulls alongside. So the middle lane seems to be really good, but a big shakeup in front of him, as I think Guetta or Mom got loose, made a little bit of contact with the wall. McQueen actually going to get by Guetta. That's going to put Guetta in the transfer spot now.
I think Guetta has some right front damage there. See his right fender, maybe some aero problems there with 3 laps to go.
It's like a little bit of just front end damage on both the wheels. So I think he's just got a little bit of contact when he got hit there by Clatterbuck.
Yeah, it's affecting his race car. You just see him sliding up the racetrack a lot more than everyone else. In the wall again. Oh!
And he's struggling. Oh, he's going to convert Dave right back down in front of Dave Wright.
Wow.
Huge wreck right out the transfer spot. Dave Wright and Andrew Guetta. Big wreck there.
I think Guetta just had too much aero damage, like I said. He was just super tight, hit the wall. Tried to keep it off of everyone, but just couldn't save it. And that basically secures the extra spot for everyone else. Basketball pretty much secure unless he dunks it during his next 2 laps.
Yep, standing right there in 10th with basketball. Last transfer spot. It looks like he'll be just fine. McQueen and Benson still going at it as Benson falls back tonight. But white flag here for heat number 2 is Daniel Malnick's out to a half a second lead over Dustin Goggin. Brock Moore still running 3rd. As basketball moves to the bottom of Benson, going to clear Benson. Benson will just let him go, just knowing that he's already in the feature here. He just stays in, does not get wrecked. But off of turn 4, Daniel Malnick's will pick up heat number 2. He'll move on to the feature tonight, and he'll start in 4th in the main race.
The great result for him. Won last week at Dover. Looking for his 3rd one of the season here tonight.
We'll see. He's definitely got the speed tonight so far. Came in late in the season. He's had very good pace since he joined, and maybe he might be a threat for the championship next season as well. But he's had a very great pace so far. Every race he's been in. I think Daniel Malnick's, if he was in here the whole season, he'd probably be in a talk tonight for the championship if he was in the whole season. He's definitely been very fast so far, and can't wait to watch him on next season. There'll definitely be a lot more championship contenders there. But that will wrap up heat number 2. Let's take a look at our results. As you just saw, Daniel Malnick picked up the heat number 2 win over Dustin Coggin. Brock Morris finishing P3. Dwayne Young finishing 4th. Travis Sheed rounds out our top 5. Jeremiah Holt in 6th. Michael Malm finishing 7th. Alex McQueen finishing 8th. Tim McBasketball finishing 9th. And our top 10 of Noah Benson. Starting 11th, finishing 11th will be Dave Wright, Andrew Guetta, Josh Clatterbuck, and Zachary Tyler finishing 12th, 13th, and 14th. And those drivers will have to go to the LCQ tonight. Now we'll take a look at our Heat 3 starting lineup here as they start to roll off as they're going down to turn 1 there, as you can see. Starting on the pole for tonight's Heat number 3 will be Samuel Huff. Alongside him will be the 35 of Timothy Presley. Starting behind him will be the 47 of Kynan Jones. Nathan Johnson will start 4th. Starting 5th will be the 21 of Ruben Rodas. He actually was on the top of the board in practice, so keep an eye on that 21 machine. So Jacob Wilson will start P6 in this heat. Starting P7 will be the 55 of Dylan Lamp. Aaron Benson will start 8th. 9th will be Nate Bogus, and starting 10th will be Christian Trigger. And Caleb Winslow will start 11th, and Jordan Evans will start 12th. 13th will be Steve Rogers and Allie Kennedy. We're on our 14-car field here for heat number 3.
Yeah, we'll see how this plays out here. I mean, heats have been pretty clean. We've seen a few cars getting wrecked in here and there. I think if you just keep it clean and you're out in front, you should be good. That basically the mid-pack has had the most of the issues here. It's probably because they're overdriving it, trying to make the field real. That's probably the real reason. Here we go, green flag in the air this time.
So we're underway, 10 laps for heat number 3 here. You see our last drivers kind of get in, and everyone else will have to go to the LCQ. Samuel off side by side still with Presley as he's going to clear off of turn 2. Jones and Presley going to be side by side down the back straightaway. Jones going to slide in line. Just going to try and settle in here. Just solidify yourself. Don't make any mistakes. It could push you out of tonight's race. Still battling, big battle here for third as Ruben Rodas on the bottom of the 35 of Timothy Presley as Presley starting to fall back a little bit more. We have a slow start. Still able to find speed up to that middle of the top lane. I mean, I've seen a lot of speed up there tonight so far. It almost gets to the wall for turn 2. Yeah, for the car on the wall in the back. 30 machine Christian Schrager. He's going to fall back to 13th, but Kynan Jones trying to chase down Samuel Hoff now. He's up to second, right behind Samuel Hoff, right on his back bumper. Still around this heat. We'll see how aggressive he gets to try and get this heat win. It's every spot matters more. So every spot matters about 3 spots with how the heats work. So if you win heat 3, you're going to start 5th. So Kynan Jones trying to get that top 5 starting spot if he can take this heat win away from Samuel Hoff. Instead of having to start back in 8th. Off of turn number 2, Jones trying to get the good run. Right up in the draft of Samuel Hoff. Those two have kind of pulled away from the other two. Kind of impact the top 6, both kind of all impacts at 2 here.
We saw Zabosian make the move for the race lead. Got the Heat 1 win, so we'll see if Kynan Jones can do the same thing on Samuel Hoff.
Going down into turn number 1. Samuel Hoff, Kynan Jones.
Hoff opening the gap up a little bit, giving him a little bit more room here to run the line he wants to run. So it help him go a little bit quicker probably, and instead of being a little defensive, trying to follow Kynan Jones and give him some dirty air. In the battle for this 10th place spot. Oh, one car on the wall.
Oh,
might be Dylan
yeah,
Lamp.
car around there.
No, Timothy Presley actually.
Yeah, Timothy Presley struggling in this heat so far. He started second. He just made a big mistake off of turn 2. That's something you can't be making here in these heats. He only falls back to 11th. Just gonna quickly regather yourself. You have to try and chase down the top 10, but he might have a big amount of damage after he got in the wall there.
Unfortunate for that 35 machine, but again, like I mentioned, transfer spot. Well, after that one, it's not very close now because the 10th to 11th is about 8 tenths, but these guys are still racing really hard in the lead pack. So basically 2 back-to-back heat races where the mid-pack had some pretty big wrecks actually. Cost at least 1 or 2 drivers their chance at making the race in these heat races and sending them to the LCQ. We'll see that again with 3 laps to go. These drivers kind of just played safe and just settled for the position that they're in right now.
And we'll have to see. Aggression can get the best of people. With 3 laps to go, still side by side battling before 9th here between Winslow and Vincent. It's going to fall back to 9th.
Oh,
Winslow going to get sideways. Going to hold on to it. Vincent quickly reaction time there, able to stay out of it. But Jordan Evans, he got held up there as well.
Here comes Alan Kennedy. He's not out of it yet. Even Timothy Presley, they're closing the gaps now as these guys are racing hard for that. Pretty much not really any relevant spots. You're already starting the back of the main event. Ooh, one car on the outside wall. Here comes out. Here comes Kenny now to the inside of Jordan Evans.
Battle for the transfer spot. Evans gonna fall back to 11. Kennedy gonna make a great
for the
move.
crossover.
Slider going to the turn number 3. Evans gonna try and crossover. Off at turn 4. Evans right on the back bumper of Kennedy. Kenny find a way by this final transfer spot through the heats. It's 2 in front of him. They just need to kind of chill out. Don't make any more mistakes up in front of him.
They make contact. Timothy Presley's still there to pounce.
We've definitely seen that happen multiple times this season. Down the back straightaway through 3 and 4 for the final time here in heat number 3.
He's too far back.
It's too far back to make a move. Adam Kennedy stealing the final transfer spot with only 2 to go. He's going to pick up 10th, and Samuel Hall picked up the heat win. Samuel Hall picks up the heat number 3 win as he actually pulled away from Cotton Jones there late.
They open the gap up to about half a second. Slowly but surely, leave the pressure for him, but LCQ is coming up here with 12 drivers.
Yeah, before we get to that grid, let's take a look at our starting line, at our finisher results for heat number 3. So Samuel Hoff able to pick up the heat win there. Cotton Jones picking up 2nd. Ruben Rhodes is finishing 3rd. Jacob Wilson finishing 4th. Nathan Johnson ran our top 5. Nate Fogg is finishing 6th. Dylan Lamp 7th. Aaron Benson finishing 8th. Kayla Winslow 9th. And Alan Kennedy sneaking his way in there late. Rounded our top 10. Finishing 11th, Jordan Evans, Timothy Presley, Steve Rogers, and Christian Schreger all going to have to go to the LCQ here as they're hitting up now. So those guys 11th through 14th there in heat number 3. As now they grid up for the LCQ, our consolations. The consolation are going to be 15 laps, so a little bit longer than what we've been seeing tonight so far in the heats. And only 3 make it in, so a lot of work to do if you start from the back. Let's take a look at our starting lineup for our LCQ tonight. As Tate the Brett going to start P number 1, Dave Wright going to start alongside him on the outside lane. Starting in 3rd will be the 2 of Jordan Evans. Nathan Breyer will start 4th. Starting 5th will be Andrew Greta in that 56 machine. Timothy Presley will start 6th. Starting 7th will be Dan Adams, and 8th will be Joshua Clouderbuck. 9th will be Steve Rogers in the 50 machine, and Jimmy Gekas will round out our top 10. Starting 11th will be Zachary Tyler in the O2 machine, and Christian Schreger will be round out our top 12. Will be our last driver in the consolation.
Zachary Taylor was not on the grid, so there's only 11 drivers on the racetrack for those 3 positions. You saw how aggressive some of these guys were, and some of you guys were involved in the wreck, kind of took themselves out and took someone else out with them, so they're all kind of lumped into this group. So I mean, see what plays out here, how aggressive these drivers are.
And we'll have to see. You got to be careful here. I mean, if you're up in this top 3 already, Luke Brett, right, just try and get yourself clear and just settle in. Just focus on not making any mistakes and just try and get in the field tonight. You don't like sitting out as a race car driver. You just don't like sitting out of a race. But green flag in the air, 15 to go here before we get to our main feature. That's a good restart there for Dave Wright. He's actually gonna get the nose out in front going out to the turn 1.
Will he be able to clear? That's the bigger question. Outside lane is not the best at Texas, but it might just be enough here to turn 2. Still side by side through most of the whole field.
3 wide towards the back there. Gotta be careful. That could end in disaster. We've seen it happen earlier. A little bit of contact maybe there with the wall. Not as Clouderbuck just keeps it out of the wall there.
You guys are driving very aggressive here early on. Ooh, 1 car wall. That's Joshua Clouderbuck.
Yeah, Clouderbuck's tough night tonight, and oh, we got a right wrecking the one. LeFred gonna get loose. He's gonna come back into the field. He's gonna turn Coletta.
That's the whole
He's gonna
field.
turn him right. The entire field's pretty much involved. Everyone had to avoid it in some capacity. As Jimmy Geikis took the lead. Jimmy Geikis took the lead.
What?
As he's actually, I thought the leader kind of involved. Yeah, so I believe Presley took the lead, and then he got in the wall off of turn 2, and Jimmy Geikis,
the whole field was
our
involved in that
leader.
one. Take a look at that one. Wow. I thought Evans would make it through, but he lost on his own. Actually, he got hit with Evans, the wall. They kept it clean, but they all have damage. We have not seen anything like that in LCQ this season yet. Even not like Daytona or Talladega.
Yeah, and I'm surprised everyone stayed mostly together, but that does separate the top three a little. Actually, no, it doesn't. Nathan Fryer is our transfer spots for now, as Christian Schrager in fourth, so it does separate our transfer spots by about a second. This is the battle just outside the transfer spot. This battle for the top 5, only 3 make it. Still a long way to go. Anything just like that could happen again. This would be a lot. It's probably a lot more rare because now the field's all spread out now, but it still can't happen.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Fryer is right behind Presley. He does have some damage though. Fryer doesn't look like he does, but he's pretty clean. I think, and same with Geikus. That really helps these drivers with no aero damage. I think maybe a few other drivers may not. Oh, looks like everyone's pretty much damaged. Maybe Steve Rogers. Check out Steve Rogers looks pretty clean on my screen. I think he's also one driver that has no damage, but everyone else in front of him has some sort of aero damage. Maybe get the Pret. Might not. It looks like he does. The right front's damage. So it's very important that your car is clean, but it looks like Fryer's got on the outside wall there.
And then Fryer got on the wall. Gonna lose a little bit of time. Don't want to make mistakes. Got lucky that he's got a pretty big gap to behind. Schweger, he's got Lapretz is inside, so that's gonna slow those guys down. Still a long way to go here. Tires can matter, especially how hot the track is. You can easily melt these tires off. Three, 1 and 2 here. Nathan Fryer, close to Timothy Presley is Jimmy Kaikis is our leader. As he's 2 seconds in front of everyone because he was the only one who didn't get involved in that wreck early.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty crazy circumstance. You kind of see that in rookie street stocks maybe sometimes, the whole field getting jumped. Not usually the LCQ out. I mean, maybe Watkins Glen would be the best example, but it was nothing like that that we've seen this season. But man, what a break for Jimmy Geikus right there. I'm not sure what place he started though in the LCQ, but great job from him. He's at 2-second lead right now.
Yeah, big lead for that 25 machine. All he's got to do is just no mistakes. He's in tonight's race. As Timothy Presley, Nathan Fryer still battling here for second. These two, I assume they're probably not going to really battle much. They don't want to risk ruining the race tonight. As Nathan Fryer actually taking a look into the inside there, going out in 3. So, you know, that battle for 4th is all really close. Well, actually, I think now it's spread out a little bit as soon as I mention it. On lap number 10 of tonight's LCQ, so this would have been the final lap in the heats. So got a couple laps left, and Presley gets to the wall there off of turn 2. That's going to cost him a little time. That's going to allow Fryer to get through to seconds. Presley still able to regather though.
So now he has a buffer now. He has 1 position buffer, but I think Fryer is fast enough where he can pull away. Can't make any more mistakes for Timothy Presley or these guys behind him. Not that far behind, only about a second and a half, so you know, all 1 or 2 more times. It would be disastrous here for tonight's race. Not be making it. Oh, there he goes again.
Yeah, he's really struggling with the wall there. That could slow him down a lot more. Yeah, he's got really bad damage now. He's gonna have to hold on for about 5 laps.
I don't think he's already half a second behind. Might have wheel damage possibly. He hit the wall very hard that time.
Yeah, and I was about to mention Steve Rogers. He's been making his way through the field. So look to the bottom.
Yeah, I mentioned him before. He's one of the drivers that has no damage on his race car. So it's not going to be as tight once the tires start wearing. That could be also a factor here too. Tire wear and whatnot. Even though it's a 15-lap race, it's still coming to fact here.
Go down into threes. Rogers looks to the bottom, gonna try and get by Lupret, as he thought it was probably over, but now right in front of him is the transfer spot. They're gonna make contact. Lupret and Rogers going down to the one. They do a little bit of bang doors a little bit down the front straightaway.
Now everyone has damage
go.
right now on the racetrack. As soon as I say that, but Rogers is through for fourth. The aggression, how high will it be? Last race of the season is, ooh, Rogers really sitting at the ring for you. Taking that race car right there.
It goes down to the bottom in 3 and 4. Off of 4. 2 to go here for the LCQ. He's going to the bottom. Going to make contact. It's going to send Presley around. Rogers going to get involved as well. Lupret barely missed it, I think. And he does. As Rogers going to keep spinning. So, but Schweger back to fourth. As, wow. We thought it was just a battle there. And in the disaster is, I think he just lost the nose there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to make some pretty erratic moves here, and once you have older tires at a hot track like this, you can't really do that. I just think he turned right in the left-hand trial, probably, but I don't know. That pretty much ends his night, and Timothy Presley has a white flag in the air. It's time by for Jimmy Ickes, already almost to a checkered.
3 and 4 off of turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Jimmy Ickes, I think he was the only one that was clean in this LCQ. He's going to pick up the LCQ win. And the final transfer spot's going to go to that 52 of Tate Lupret. As LCQ that was. As we finally got our field of 35 tonight. So Jimmy Ickes, he'll start P33. He's going to have a lot of work to do in the future, but at least he's in the field.
What a race that was, and pretty much how every single other heat race pretty much went. We had a intense battle for the transfer spot for most of these races, and ends up kind of like a crash at the end, or something happens and someone just does not take out 1 or 2 drivers. And interesting how basically every single heat race like that too.
Yep, and it just happened, and now Jimmy Ickes is able to make his way through. We're going to take a look at our results here for the LCQ and see who makes the field. As Jimmy Ickes is able to pick up the LCQ win, and Nathan Fryer finishing P number 2. Tate Lupret riding out the final transfer spot, finishing 3rd. Christian Strager finishing 4th. Steve Rogers 5th. Dan Adams 6th. Timothy Presley 7th. Andrew Beretta 8th. Joshua Cloudbuck 9th. Jordan Evans finishing 10th. 11th would have been the 44 of Dave Wright, and Zachary Tyler finishing 12th. Those 10 going, those 10 going home tonight. Well, 9 going home tonight as well. So that we'll have to see how those 3, if they can cover the back in the future. But before we get there, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back here from Texas, the Patti Engineering 150. Welcome back here to Texas, here to the Legacy Texas Motor Speedway. Tonight, we have the SuperStar ARCA Cup season finale. The championship will be decided tonight in the Patti Engineering 150. 35 cars take the grid for the final time this season. There are two championship contenders, Alex Anderson and Connor Sebosian, and a very outside shot of Samuel Hoff. But Connor Sebosian with a very sizable lead coming into tonight. He'll start P number 3. But before we mention the rest, let's take a look at our grid for tonight's Patti Engineering 150 here from Texas. As we saw at the top of the show, Alex Anderson picked up the pole, and Jared Skinner will start alongside him on the front row. Starting in P number 3 will be our championship leader, our points leader of Connor Sebosian will start P number 3. Daniel Monix will start 4th. Starting 5th will be the 17 of Samuel Hoff, our last championship contender. Everyone else pretty much, I believe, mathematically eliminated. Mark Cofield will start 6th. Starting 7th will be the 46 of Dustin Cogg, and alongside him will be the 47 of Kynan Jones. And P number 8, P number 9 will be the 39 of Tim Clausen, and Brock Morris in the 05 around our top 10. Starting 11th will be the 21 of Ruben Rodas. Thomas Spencer will start 12th. 13th will be the 45 of Dwayne Young, and Jake Wilson will start alongside him in the 51. Starting 15th will be the 70 of Craig Martin. Starting 16th will be the 18th of Travis Sheen. Starting 17th will be Nathan Johnson, the 19 car. 18th will be Lucas Blake. Starting 19th will be 73 of Jeremiah Holt. Alongside him will be the 11 of Nate Bogus. Starting our 21st will be the 79 of Tony Shelton. Michael Malm will start 22nd. 23rd will be Dylan Lamb. Dan Reberark will be alongside him in 24th. Alex McKean will start 25th, and 26th will be the 40 of Aaron Benson. Michael James will start 27th, the 89 machine. And alongside him will be the 93 at Civic Basketball. Starting 29th will be Caleb Winslow, and alongside him will be the 82 of Christopher Morton. Starting 31st will be the 34 of Noah Benson. Alan Kennedy alongside him. 33rd will be Jimmy Gutkiss. Nathan Fryer will start 34th. And our 35 car field tonight, last driver in from the LCQ, 52 of Tate LeFret as the pace car. Going down through turn number 3 and 4. It's the final start to the feature race of the season. We're going to get the season finale underway here in just a couple seconds. Space car, we're going to take that hard left turn onto pit road. As Alex Anderson and Jared Skinner are going to lean into the green. Green flag is in the air. We're on our way for the season finale here from Texas. Off of turn 4, everyone quickly single files back in line. Sebosian got a good run off of 4 there, trying to look to the inside of Jared Skinner. But Alex Anderson doing what he needs to do so far, putting his car out in the race lead. So they need a lot of help from Sebosian. Sebosian needs to finish 11 spots behind him for him to have a chance. But Alex Anderson also needs to try and pick up all the bonus points he possibly can and give himself an even better chance. So far, the top 3 pulling away a little bit.
Yeah, Alex Anderson needs Sebosian to have a pretty bad race, probably the worst race of this season so far if he wants a chance at a championship. 11 positions is the gap between him and Anderson, so what happens there? There comes Sebosian to the inside of Skinner.
Sebosian out of the inside of Skinner, as Skinner looked like he got a little bit tight off on turn number 2 there. That moves Sebosian into second. So Sebosian, points later, 55 points ahead. All he's got to do is just finish within 11 spots of Alex Anderson. So far, he's only 1 spot behind him. So Sebosian doing exactly what he needs to do tonight so far. Same with Alex Anderson.
Sebosian for the race lead. Anderson blocking a little bit down the back.
Most of the field single file just settling in. As you did see a couple drivers looking to the inside, mainly up up towards the front, around the just outside the top 5, actually just outside the top 10. And then they actually kind of single file that back out. Off of turn number 4, Sebosian has a good run. He's going to look to the inside of our race leader, Alex Anderson. Side by side, still early on here in this race, 5 laps in. You see how these tires start to play out, how hard these drivers are going to fight. Anderson on the top side, Sebosian down to the bottom. He's side by side, down the back straightaway. He's still battling for the lead. Jarrett's going to right behind him, not being too aggressive, not trying to take an advantage yet of these two being side by side. As the outside lanes really had a lot of great pace up there tonight so far. We've seen it throughout all the heats in the LCQ. The outside, the middle lane, middle of the outside lane, it actually had a really good pace. Able to hold your ground up there pretty well. Bottom's just kind of been there for saving tires. Anderson still up on the outside lane, playing defense perfectly. Sebosian not able to get clear from the bottom yet, as actually I think Anderson off at turn 4 here might clear him, but it looked like he got a little loose, but he's going to clear him there as they cross the line.
The top 3 still has a little bit of a gap over the rest of the field, but they're kind of closing back in here as they're most single file out throughout the top 10. The Sebosian might go.
Oh, Sebosian into the wall. Oh, Skinner's going to go around hard on the inside wall. Goes Skinner, bounce up back the racetrack, and that'll be the first caution of the night. Keep it out of traffic.
Oh, someone.
Oh, yeah, and he gets hit right there. We got a car flipping up into the wall in turn 3. So single car incident quickly turns to multiples. The 16 there, I believe, was the one that almost flipped going into 3. 16 of Dan Reberark. Actually, I don't know. Actually, it may have been a custom number 16. Who knows? No, that's just Skinner. Let's see what happened here. So they kind of wrecked. Everyone kind of wrecked into the back as a reaction of him bouncing back up the track. Alex Payne didn't really know where to go. Multiple cars involved there. But I really wanted to see was Dan Reberark. I believe he flipped going into turn 3. That was the biggest wreck. That was probably the biggest damage to that car.
They did flip.
Go on the side, go down the back straightaway. Just kind of slows down, sees one wrecking, he just needs to ARCA brake down in the 3.
Yeah, I mean,
lands on his side.
There's a lot of ARCA brakes in that wreck. That should have only been like a 1-car wreck, honestly. Not sure exactly what these drivers in the back were doing. I mean, they had plenty of time to slow down for the caution, but I mean, when you hit a car 7-8 seconds after it stopped, I can't really blame anyone but yourself at that point.
Did Reberark actually no pit for repairs, so I think he'll might mostly be okay. He can fix the wheel damage, most of the wheel damage. He still can have a solid finish tonight. But a big wreck early on here in this first 5 to 10 laps. We don't know if anyone.
Interesting call there.
Don't know if everyone pitted. Samuel Hoff did pit, so he's going to line up pretty far towards the back. So try and top it off. Actually, that might be a smart call. Though it's still kind of a while. We were told a 40-lap fuel window. Now, with the very high track temp, that could try to stretch it. I mean, if you can maybe get it to about 43 laps of just not saving fuel and just a normal run, you can get it to 43 laps. You could try and save 2 laps of fuel per run. You could also just try and top it off here, since you're already going to be towards the back. It could be an extra strategy call, but it could try and be making this a one-stop race.
Yeah, that'd be pretty hard to do. So I mean, about 40 laps here, so it'd be 92. Saving 8 laps of fuel. Pretty tall ask here, especially let's say if we go green the rest of the way. But I mean, isn't the most impossible thing, but definitely not probable. Anderson's still out in front, side by side with the championship contender, Sebosian.
Yeah, we'll have to see between these two. These two could be battling all night long. See, I mean, anything could happen here in this race. So we're also line up P3. Just stick out there for a second. We'll have to keep an eye on Tammy Hoffield. We start 17th, but green flag back in the air. As we'll restart with 89 laps to go. Clearly going to use sort of this strap back. He's trying to let him. They're trying to take that third place back from Brock Morris. Down the front straightaway, Alex Anderson, Connor Sposian into turn number 1 and 2.
Anderson doing a good job right after the restart. It's really, Morrison the outside wall there. He loses a few positions. Fucking the outside right now.
Losing a few spots here, yeah. Another attack from Condon Jones. Condon Jones trying to get barely to his inside, but he's got Jacob Wilson there as well. Doesn't really make a 3-wide move early on yet.
Top two really pulled away from the rest of this field. 6 tenths over Ruben Rodas. He was fastest in practice, we mentioned that before, so he seems like he has some pretty good speed here tonight.
Yeah, he's had really good pay. We'll have to see how his long run plays out. I mean, he's fastest in practice, so we'll have to see. But that 21 machine could be a threat tonight, as he's actually kind of pulling away from the rest of the field. He got clear, trying to chase down our 2 race leaders, but so far, top 2 just gone by a good pit so far.
Let's see where Samuel Hoff is right now. He's all the way down. Actually up to 6th place already, so he's gonna have a lot of spots here. So restart 19th, already up to 6th. Kind of shows, even though tires are only about 10 laps newer, I mean, he's flying to the throw right now. Already up to 4th place. That could be a really good strategy call for that 17 machine if we go green the rest of the way.
That could work out for him. I mean, if he could shorten the stop, I don't know if he can shorten the stop or not. We'll have to see. He's already up to 30s. He's just got by Ruben Rodas. Maybe his plan was just kind of trying to get a shortcut. I mean, kind of an undercut. I mean, there's 10 laps on the tires, still 4 extra sets. So, I mean, kind of put yourself down to stop early on. But now suppose you look for the lead. I think Samuel Hoff, though, on the fresher tires, he's right there now. See if he tries to make it 3 wide.
Let's see what he does here. I don't think he's going to be that aggressive, but I think he's going to try to pull away from these guys and maybe hit a little bit around the same time and have a huge lead over them before the pit stops even happen. It's a great strategy call right there for that 17 machine. If we go another 20 laps, he'll be about... Oh! Contact!
He's got that off of turn 2. Hoff's going to go around. Sabosian involved. It doesn't look like much damage, but that could be... That could have changed a lot.
Hoff, I don't believe hit the inside wall, but I think he might have just misjudged where he was with him and Zabosian.
Yeah, Symposium, not a whole bunch of room down there. Hoff
Yeah,
just,
Hoff
oh
just
yeah, just trying to squeeze under. Anderson just kind of turned himself across Symposium. Symposium maybe tapping the damage. It doesn't look like any damage, but lost a little bit of time there. That could have ended a lot worse. Symposium almost got hit from
Hoff did hit
behind.
the wall actually, but very lightly. Still, from what we've seen in the heat races, that little aero damage does play a big factor. Basically, that pit stop is useless now for Hoff. He's probably got the pit here with those tires smoked enough.
Yeah, but I was just mentioning that could have been his plan. Maybe shorten a stop, able to get some tires, and also trying to get some tires, trying to get up in front, use his track position to his advantage, and trying to maybe. I mean, he was a very long shot of trying to win the championship tonight. I suppose he pretty much finished 26 spots behind him. He's definitely gonna need a lot of help from that, but it's definitely possible. But that's definitely gonna hurt his chances there.
Yeah, I mean, he got a long shot anyways, but still, you really know what could happen in races. But basically, everyone down pit lane, pretty much. Few drivers staying out, and those drivers that stayed out did pit the caution before, so second caution night, lap 20. Every 10 laps, looks like we're going to have in the caution here. Trends continue.
Yeah, so 20 laps in, so that is actually the perfect amount for tires. So you easily split your tires every 20 laps, but Craig Martin, Noah Benson staying out of the racetrack as well. So a couple drivers playing a little different strategies. As I mean, you saw Sammy Hoff, he came down pit road, so these drivers, if they pitted there, I don't know if they did pit there that last caution as well. They could have a little bit of old tires on it now. At least they got the track position. Now, Craig Martin, Thomas Spencer are going to be on the front row for this restart. So it'll be just under 80 to go. So now we can make it on a one-stop race from here on out.
Yeah, should be able to.
Yeah, but off of turn 4 there, the pit's going to take that hard left turn on the pit road. Green flag back in the air. Craig Martin, Noah Benson going to be on the front row. Tarrant gets actually clear.
Ooh, Anderson being very aggressive here, middle, 3 wide. Bojan stuck on the bottom behind those guys with the older tires. Ooh, contact behind. Big wreck.
Oh, car around. Multiple cars around. Rebber goes around as well. Don't know who else is involved there. Dylan Lamp, I think, is one of them. Travis Sheed involved, and Jimmy Geikis as well, our LCQ winner. Sammy Hoff able to looks clean.
Jeremiah Holtz all there. It looked like it was a checkup in the back. Not sure if it was caused from front kind of being a little slower with the older tires. Looks like very weird incident there, actually.
Let's see what happened here off of turn number 2.
It's
kind of a stack up, yeah, an accordion there, and yeah, and that's what happened. Just stack off the corner, and the accordion effects. Oh, hard hit there. Who was that? Kennedy that came through and hit Geikis. Seemed the hardest hit out of that wreck. Everyone else was mostly all else just kind of spinning. It was. I think it was mostly all just spinning, and Kennedy just try to shoot the gap. I thought it wasn't there. I guess thought it wasn't there. But now Greg Martin actually coming down pit road from the lead is Benson and Spencer going to stay out. But that will be our third caution of that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here from Texas. Welcome back here to Texas. As just wrapping up our third caution of the night, quarter of the way through, as Thomas Spencer and Noah Benson leading the back to green after staying out a couple cautions to go. There's green flag back in the air here from Texas. We'll see what the drivers on the older tires can do. It's Alex Anderson restarting third after that one. Gonna try and look maybe to the bottom in 3, but thinks better of. He's just trying to stick behind Spencer as he goes through coming off the 2.
Yeah, bottom 3 either be pretty aggressive here, especially when you're fighting for a championship. You'll be able to get him through 3 and 4 here with those tires.
Anderson right now, he's in a really good spot as Savosian's a couple spots behind him. He needs Savosian to finish about 11 spots behind if he wants a shot at the championship, but these drivers are a little bit on the tires, so Savosian, there shouldn't be too hard getting through these drivers on a big tire difference, but he did have a couple heat cycle now on those newer tires, so that could slow him down a little bit compared to the guys on the older tires.
As Spencer doing a good job so far, staying front for now, but here comes Anderson to the bottom. Spencer way up the racetrack in the marbles there. Yeah, basically let these top 3 by. Oh, is he doing the outside wall there? Down the 4th place, he's gonna fall down like a rock pretty quickly.
It's now side by side for lead now between Anderson and Clausen. Clausen trying to make his move. He's been fast tonight. He was very fast in his heat. Now he's looking for the race, trying to steal the race lead away here early on. Slots back behind Anderson, but for good news for Anderson, he's got that car between him. Gotta give him a little bit of a buffer from Savosian.
Clausen making his first start here tonight, doing a good job in 2nd place. Really strong here so far in his first start at Texas. See what he can do here in his next 70 laps.
Down the back straightaway, Clausen looks back to the bottom, trying to take the race lead away. So he kind of pulled a couple car lengths in front of Sabosian now. Sabosian, he's got Dustin Coggin trying to look his way by. These battles still for the race lead between Clausen and Anderson. Anderson able to hold his own on the outside lane. He still clears Clausen going to the one.
We haven't really had like long green flag run here tonight. Only 10 laps has been the most, really. But we'll see how long this green flag run goes, and we'll see green flag pit stops. Been pretty much in green flag pit stop in almost every race this season. But here comes Clausen back to the inside.
Lap back to the inside. Yeah, lap traffic a couple seconds in front of them. Clausen going to drive it in deep into one. Going to try and pull the slider. He's going to make it work. Actually going to pull away just a little bit. Good move by Clausen there.
I might have always shot turn one there, but he really made stick because when the car stopped on the apron. I'll tell you how sure that was, but no caution for that. They were off the racing surface.
But Anderson looking back for the lead already. We'll try to look to the inside of Clausen there off the turn 4. He's not letting that 39 machine pull away. He's got to be careful not to eat up his tires, but he's got Sabosian right behind him.
Right now, I wonder what these drivers are really thinking. They're trying to save your tires and maybe save that right front. Just kind of fall behind some. Not over drive the race car. They want that cleaner maybe, or is it just hard to pass? It's kind of hard to tell, really. Harrison's seems like he's sometimes quicker than Clausen, but sometimes Clausen just pulls away a little bit. So I don't know if it's kind of a mix of both. Dirty air, clean air type of situation also.
And also, especially dirty air is a big factor in these cars. And now Clausen's got that clean air. Tires starting to wear a little bit, so it's a little bit harder to pass. Trying to set up your runs, but you just got to kind of save your tires. You got to manage your tires differently when you're in dirty air. You got to back up a little bit more, take the corners a little bit differently. But as you see now, Samuel Hoff in 7th. He's making his way up after his mistake earlier.
Yeah, I believe he was down like in the 20s somewhere, and he's already up to 7th. I mean, he's back to the front, to the middle, and back to up to the front. I mean, everywhere here tonight so far. Done a really good job rebounding. He still has a chance to win the championship. We said it's a long shot, but you know, these two, Anderson or Zabosian wreck, blow their engines or something. Still has a chance to win this championship.
Yeah, it's going to need a lot of help, but Anderson going to get on the wall there. That's what allows Sabosian maybe to get to the inside, but Hoff's back in line. That's what allows Coggin to go to the inside. Jacob Wilson as well, but Rodas going to try and take the move on Wilson. Going to make a little bit of contact. Wilson going off the racetrack, but he's going to hold on to it, keep it straight. But Coggin side by side with Sabosian now.
That's going to allow Clausen to pull away to a bigger gap, and Alex Anderson might have that a little bit of right side damage. Doesn't look like he has any visually. Still not the best happen off of turn 2. That happened a lot.
Sabosian got tight there off of turns 2. He's gonna lose a spot to Coggin and Rodas. That's kind of big. Losing that track position. It's not something that you want to happen. Now he's gonna lose it to Wilson now as well.
Here comes Hoff, and also Johnson too. Goes and finally gets to the bottom. I think the outside lane. Those worn tires is not the lane you want to be in right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to get very tight up there with the really hot track temp. You think it would make it a little bit looser, but it just makes it a little bit tighter. Tires can't grip. They just kind of slide up the racetrack.
Also, they have less fuel, so that also makes the car a little bit tighter too.
Driver's starting to struggle a little bit with these older tires as Sabosian now back to the inside of Coggin, trying to get that spot back. Now for Sabosian, just trying not to panic. Yeah, you do have lost a little bit of time to Anderson. Anderson only needs 11 spots, so just try not to panic when you get a couple spots behind him. He's got a pretty comfortable lead. Just keep your cool for Sabosian, really.
Yeah, if I was Sabosian, as long as I could see Anderson, I would be calm. You know, the moment you can't really see Anderson, you're probably a little bit too far behind, so you gotta worry a little bit more. Once you can see him, and you're out your windshield, you're pretty much in position in the championship.
Yeah, he's only a couple spots back so far, as Anderson has picked up a couple bonus points, but nothing nearly enough to gain anything as Sabosian. Each spot is 5 points, so the bonus points really just not really even if you got all of them, not really even worth an extra spot. So still gonna need 11 spots no matter what, I don't think, but definitely could help you. But now Nathan Johnson looks to the inside behind Dust, right to the inside of Coggin behind Sabosian, as Nathan Johnson actually easily takes that spot. He's gonna clear.
Yeah, the only bonus points that are worth one position is if you lead the most laps. You combine that with a 0x race here. Not sure if Anderson got an X for hitting the wall there, but if he does lead the most laps and gets 0x in this race, that is 5 bonus points for one position. So, ooh, contact, that's Hoff, I think, in the background there. Him and Molnick's back there. Wilson up to third now. We're halfway through this fuel run, 21 laps down on this tank of gas. About 20 laps they can go here. Probably want to stretch those out as long as they can. Lap around 60, 65 or so. That would be the ideal lap to pit, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll have to see how long they go, but this top 7 kind of closing the gap. All of them kind of next to each other. Clausen in the lead. Coggin at the back of this pack, just kind of falling off just a little bit. But Anderson closing that gap back in now. He's going to look to the outside of Tim Clausen for the race lead.
Just a move here. Looks like the outside lane works. Make you pin some caution down as much as you can. But here comes Wilson. He has a good run off the exit.
He's going to try and push Anderson down the back straightaway, but down the back straightaway.
I've cleared him, I think. He did. Wow.
Yeah, he's clear. Rodas almost looked to the inside of Clausen there. He's got a lane down to the bottom. Does he take it? But Clausen realized it, shut the door, but Rodas still trying to make it 3. Can't get the run though.
Wilson up to second now as he takes the lead back. Clausen, he led a few laps there at clean air. I think it was a good chance for him. He pulled away even a little bit there after the contact Anderson to the outside wall. Thought Clausen would pull away a little bit, do that clean air, and also have some tire saving, but it looks like he might have pushed a little bit too much on these early runs in the first 10 laps or so.
They're starting to fall back just a little bit. It's now Rodas and Johnson battling behind him.
That's on the outside lane looking pretty good now. These tires are wearing out a little bit. I think you can pinch the driver down a little bit. It's a little tighter. Make the outside lane work. At least the middle. Maybe not the very top, but at least the middle.
He's able to make it work, trying to get to the outside of Rodas. Still able to clear. As now Rodas trying to hold off, trying to get a spot, trying to gain some more spots. As Rodas, he's got some pretty good long run pace. Saw it so far, still hanging in the top 5 tonight. Up here all night long. As now Dylan Lamp, lap car getting by on the fresher tires.
Wilson for the race lead. Look to the inside, not there yet though.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Gotta be careful. So you got Dylan Lamp trying to get through now. So
yeah, he has fresher tires. So. See how aggressive he is. I mean, if I was him, I wouldn't be too picky about trying to get around these leaders. You know, go fighting for a championship, and whatnot. So, and also a race win, which does mean a lot still to some of these drivers. Because the one thing you don't want to be as a lap car is a kind of a nuisance to these leaders, especially when you're 2 laps down.
Yeah, you just don't want to be in the way. I think you just try to get a very early pit stop
maybe a two-stop strategy for that driver. Interesting call, but I mean, see how it plays out for him. Ooh, a lot of
Well,
drivers
car on
in
the
the
wall
wall.
there. I think Wilson, Anderson, they all got in the wall.
And also Zabosian, he's falling back quite a bit. He got on the outside wall. A lot of drivers on the outside wall. Off of turn 2. Turn 2 seems like the most problematic corner here tonight of getting tight onto the outside wall. Turn 4, not so much. I don't think we've seen it as much as turn 2. Kind of how the wall kind of gets to you quickly down the back straightaway.
Yeah, but everyone seems to be struggling off of turn 2 tonight with getting tight. And especially with these drivers on the older tires, I think it's very easy to overheat your right front, especially getting up on the top lane, because the top lane's typically rears that right front, and it's been a little bit quicker and easier to defend. But halfway through this time by, 50 down, 50 to go here from Texas. Probably see pit stops in about 15 to 20 laps for these leaders.
Mentioned halfway through, I mean, I always one of these guys are probably pits. I mentioned before, around 60, 65. That's about how long you go on fuel, and plus, if it was up to me, I would try to get pit as late as possible so I had the freshest tires at the end of the race. Also, you gotta watch out for a caution during these pit stops. You know, Texas, not the easiest track to get on the pit lane, not the hardest, but you never know what can happen when these drivers throwing out the pit lane. Also, these ARCA cars not the best at braking. We saw multiple tracks here this season so far, so make sure you get a nice good pit stop into your stall, easy, not too aggressive, especially if you're a driver like Alex Anderson. You don't want to. Actually, he's a Bosian down pit lane, I believe.
Oh, I caution on the racetrack for 4th caution of the night. And this is going to throw a wrench into things because we just had a couple go down pit road, but this could possibly make it very tight on fuel. See what happened? It looks like the one machine, Lucas Blake, down to the turn 1 here, just backs it up, and yeah, just Nathan Fryer got it into him going out of the turn 1. Just sets him around in the turn 1. He's able to keep it going, so doesn't look, yeah, kept it off the wall. Looks like no damage on those cars, so
I mean, maybe some back end damage, but nothing too crazy. Some scripts on the left side, but I don't think it affected him too much. He was running around that 18 spot, so mid-pack round, so and Fryer make contact, but everyone coming out pit lane this time, I guarantee it.
yeah, make sure you're right there on the number for fuel. We'll restart under 45 to go. Could be tight. But we'll have to see. The Alex Anderson first one down. As he was kind of, for him, he was probably hoping that run kind of stayed green because Zabosian was starting to falter a little bit. But now he's going to be our race leader. Now Anderson's going to be the race leading, and he's going to have the fresh, he's going to be on even tires with his championship rival. Anderson going to be the first one in, first one off like usual on pit road.
And then his MO all night long. Out front for most of this race. And mostly what he can do is short run speed has been pretty good, but I think a few drivers have been a little bit better. Maybe actually Lawrence Bosian is all the way down to the 14th. He had a 22.4 second pit stop. They've been fixing some damage, but that right now puts Alex Anderson as a championship leader.
Yeah, I think you just did see Zabosian get in the wall a little bit. He also had contact from the earlier wreck before that put him back to 4. But I think he's just trying to take his damage. But I mean, we've seen him multiple times this season. Mid-pack,
Yeah,
track
mid-pack's very,
position,
yeah.
dangerous can happen. I mean, if the damage was affecting him bad, yeah, might as well go ahead and fix it. But it'd be a risky strategy to take damage and put yourself in a really bad spot.
And with 10 costs, and he fixed some of his damage at 23-second pit stop there. He puts himself in 12th. That was one of the drivers I thought had a really good short run speed. We saw how quickly he got around Anderson early on. That run, but Wilson, Johnson, Rodas also had some pretty long green flag run speed. We'll see how that plays out here, if they can get around Anderson quickly or back and maybe save some fuel here, like you said. About 4 laps short, possibly 2. So, depending on how good you can save some fuel.
Pace car's off, gonna restart again here, just under 44 to go here. Green flag back in the air, 44 to go, Anderson in the lead. We'll see if fuel strategy starts to play out. He's gonna have to save a couple laps of fuel, but it could be possible. He should go great at the end, but Anderson out to a quick lead, as we'll have to keep an eye on Sebosian, as right now, Anderson leads the points, but we'll have to see how quick Sebosian can work his way through the field.
Yeah, no down Sebosian's abilities, just not get involved in any mishaps in that middle pack, portion of the field. Already up to 10 for him right now, so I can say right now he would be the points leader. And if they were to tie, I'm not sure exactly what the tiebreaker is. I assume it'd be wins tiebreaker, and right now Anderson has most wins. So I think Anderson, if it is a tie, it would go to Anderson. So that's just what I'm assuming. And now single forward train throughout the whole field pretty much. Anderson gonna lead this lap here once again out in front.
Anderson not clear, but Wilson maybe took a look down on the 1 there. Everyone stays in line so far. Sebosian is running 10th. Anderson our race leader. So right now I think Sebosian barely in front of Anderson. So Sebosian just has to focus on not making mistakes, so he won't lose any more spots. But right now Anderson doing what he needs to do. I think ideally for Anderson or Sebosian, if you can't make it, it's probably going to work better for Anderson. If you can't make it, just try and make it a little bit. If you just try and do something different compared to Sebosian, knowing if you're going to have to do it. I mean, just he might try and save fuel a little bit, but I don't really think pitting would help. But try and save a little bit of fuel and hope Sebosian runs out late if we stay green. It's going to be very tight on fuel. As I think we were given 40 laps and we went green with 44. That's a little bit closer to 41 or 42 with the tire wear. You could possibly save it. It's a very big ask, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I mean, 2 laps here would probably be what, about 7/10 of a gallon, I would say. Like, not really best. I would say you probably burn about 0.3, 0.35 here gallons a lap. I'm not sure exactly, but I think anything other than a gallon of fuel saved is not the most difficult thing in the world, but you have to lose some track position to save fuel, so that is also a risk. Caution comes out late and you're trying to save fuel and losing some positions, and it might not put you in the best position to win the championship. That might be a risk you have to take.
Especially if you're Anderson, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I mean, supposing you have all the power really with that. and you just try and go up to get to Anderson and push. But maybe that was the plan for Sebastian. Just trying to, I mean, obviously already had damage. I think he had a little bit of damage he had to fix, but maybe in the back here is not why he hasn't moved up so quickly. Just gonna sit in the back a little bit, just save you a little bit of fuel, knowing he's really that close. But here comes Wilson. He's hooked to the inside of Anderson. Gonna be side by side for the lead. Wilson on the bottom, Anderson to the outside lane, down the back straightaway. Anderson able to clear a little, clear more and get a couple car lengths with that lap car, from them having to navigate that lap car there.
Top two going away. The rest of the field right now. How much the tire wear would up hurt these guys trying to pull away from the rest of the field? We kind of saw last time a few drivers pull away and the rest of the field was impossible and kind of pulled away, but then kind of fell back later in the run. So that also happened to Anderson and Wilson here. They're actually put out to a big margin over Daniel Molman.
Finishing, running third right now, trying to chase down a race leads, but then side by side again. Wilson trying to take it to the bottom, can't find his way by. Anderson on the outside lane, still perfect on the outside there, but he's got to be careful. You don't want to burn up your tires here. Now you have to keep the race lead to keep your championship hopes alive, but you will also burn up your tires for the race lead running that outside lane.
Down to the final stretch of the season right here. All comes down to this. Wilson to the bottom now then of Anderson. Below the racetrack there, getting that middle lane, you get a good run off of 4. Hill continues to lead here for now. See how that affects him later in this run. Wilson continuing to run that bottom lane.
Looking a lot better on the bottom there, looks a little bit better, able to roll some more corner speed, not getting tight off the corner. Middle lane seems to be tighter. We'll have to see here. Wilson's gonna look to the top now, try and get some clean air up there.
Closing the gap here, and also and Nathan Johnson closing the gap here also. We'll go on these drivers are again side by side with Wilson and Anderson. 31 laps to go this time by. Kenny Washington on the outside wall there. Wide now. Drops down from 4th to 7th. And no contact in the outside wall goes.
Jones to the wall again.
Johnson here makes contact and it's mosing by. Everyone else coming through the field. As Johnson make contact there with Ian Jones. He has a lot of right front damage that could be affecting his performance now in his next few laps. Bozen, that puts him up to 8th place now. Jones all the way back down to 14th. Major damage here at 47 machine.
Yeah, big damage to the front end. That's definitely going to slow him up, but Anderson still holds the lead over Jacob Wilson. Now with 30, well, just under 30 to go, 29 to go right now. Could be a question who can make it to the end if the fuel's really that close. But if the fuel isn't really close and you got to make a stop no matter what, we'll start to see pit stops probably here in about 5 to 10. Just try to split this in half. As we could see a couple 2-tire strategy calls. You can see just a fuel only call late. We'll have to see if you got a pit. We'll see what the varying strategies here.
I think a fuel only call might be probably with like try to pit as late as possible and take fuel only, and that could be a good strategy call for Anderson and one of those drivers out in the front. Also, if you're Connor Zaboza, maybe you could take tires here with 20 laps to go, and if Anderson does take fuel only, then you pretty much pass him just because your tires are so much quicker than them. Because they're already a second and a half slower after 20 laps on these tires. I mean, tires really, really do matter here at Texas. It's not an easy decision to make either.
Especially the old surface, just really ease up these tires. As Alex Anderson holds the lead. Wilson's been looking at the bottom, but Daniel Malnix, he's right behind them now. It's down to Samuel Hoff and Connor Sabosian battling for 6th. Hoff's to the bottom. Sabosian on the outside lane. Big train behind these two. So side by side for 6th between Sabosian back to get the wall there. He always get the lap car. Alan Kennedy gonna slow him up, so I think he just backed out of it there. Not risking anything, playing it smart. To lose a spot to Hoff. Now he's gonna be side by side with Morris. To lose a spot to Morris, to fall back to 8th here. Maybe 7th. He actually had a really good run off of turn 2. We'll see if he can clear Morris going down to the 3. Sabosian clear, so he loses the spot to Hoff. But right now, he doesn't have to worry about anything. Still running 7th compared to Anderson leading. Still just fine sitting in 7th there for Sabosian.
Patti really doing a great job right now, moving Rodas still in 4th place. He's a little further back in kind of no man's land, but still has a chance to win this thing. He was fast all night long, fastest in practice. Didn't have the greatest qualifying session, but still up in the front here, top 5 position for. But pretty big gap between him and Tim Clausen, second half back, and then you have a whole bunch of cars, kind of just 2 cars between each other. You're from like basically 5th on back to 13th.
Yep, most of this just top 5 on back, everyone's staying close, but here comes Daniel Malnix just to the inside of Jacob Wilson. He's got great pace so far. He's really picked up his pace. Malnix saved his tires very well, trying to push up for the race lead. Still side by side with Wilson here for 2nd. Anderson is starting to pull away a little bit. This is probably what he wanted to see behind him. Malnix down to the bottom. Wilson staying strong up top though.
Ooh, Wilson the outside wall there. Gonna cost him 2nd and maybe cost him 3rd here. So here comes Ruben Rodas.
Ruben Rodas right there in 4th, trying to chase him down, chase these top 3 down. Malnix clear for 2nd. Now he's going to try and chase down Alex Anderson for the lead. This time, Bob, we have 20 laps to go. And 20 laps to go in the season.
More miles here at Texas, decide the champion. And can these guys make out fuel? 20 more laps to go.
Be down the front straightaway, 20 to go here from Texas. Anderson doing what he needs to do, leading the race so far. But Connor Sabosian sitting in 6th. Sabosian perfectly safe right there. But it could be tight on fuel. We'll have to see. 20 to go here. We'll see if anyone dives in it, having to dive in pit road. We'll see if anyone's going to be short, or we'll see if anyone can stretch it a couple more laps.
Anderson, I'm pretty sure he's locked up the most laps led, which is 2 extra points, and if he does have a 0x, that's 3 incident points for him. Be interesting to see if Zabozin also has 0x for him, so if he does not, that's an extra position for points-wise for Alex Anderson. Zabozin side by side with Brock Morris.
Brock Morris will lose a spot there to, well, actually, Zabozin falls back to 7th.
Just stays in 7th.
Stays in 7th, but Brock Morris up in 6th. Is Samuel Hoff, well, kind of Samuel Hoff back in 8th. It's kind of Jones actually right behind Zabozin. But Samuel Hoff losing a couple of spots.
I think Kyan Jones must have pitted there due to his damage. 8 laps, old tires here. There's a few drivers coming down pit lane. No one in the front really, but a few drivers in the pack coming down pit lane.
Yep, so it could be tight on fuel. We'll have to see if these leaders, though. Malnick's gonna get into the wall, into the one, though. Right on the back bumper. Alex Anderson just kind of missed the dogleg, the trial there, and I think he just got in the wall.
He was just right on the back bumper of Anderson. He just didn't realize the wall was coming up there. Let's take a quick look at that one. I mean, I guess he just didn't realize he was that close to the outside wall, maybe, but here comes Ruben Rodas to the inside Wilson.
Showed us some late speed here. He could be a threat if he can save a little bit of fuel. If you save that extra little bit of fuel, falling a little bit farther back early on, we're gonna try and steal this win. 16 to go. The question is, can these drivers make it? It's a 40-lap fuel window. We restarted with 44 to go. It's a big ask, but it is possible. No one hasn't really pitted up front yet. Zabozin running 7th. He's been towards the back half of the top 10, so I think honestly, well, you haven't really seen him move up so quickly like we've seen him before in the season. He's just kind of been taking his time. I don't think he's been in any rush to try and move up. He's just trying to save a little bit extra fuel.
Kyan Jones, I might hit the outside wall there. Slow off of turn 2. Second time he's done that tonight that we've seen. Olex still not. Olex has caught back up to Anderson there. Hit the outside wall. I'm surprised he caught back up so early. I mean, maybe that's Anderson saving fuel, possibly.
Yeah, Olex seems to be a lot better so far. As Rodas now gets by Jacob Wilson for 3rd.
Oh, it looks like Anderson is showing off his engine.
So Anderson close on fuel. We'll have to see. Down the front straight, we'll have to see what he does this time. Going down to the 1.
Yep, showing off the engine. Let's see if Conor Zabozin doing the same thing. Yes, he is. They're all showing off the engine, so they're all trying to save fuel here. 13 to go. One's out in front, one's in 7th. We'll see how this plays out here. If there's a caution.
I don't know.
And there's a wreck here down the back. Dustin Coggin with no caution.
Dustin Coggin down, Dustin Coggin down to the turn 3. He actually just reset. Luckily, that was off the track.
Hard hit.
I don't know if they were shutting out their engines or not. I don't really see a big change in RPM, but could be close. But right now, Alex Anderson, he's got pressure.
Wilson down pit lane.
And Wilson down pit lane for 3rd. But now, Anderson, he's got pressure. Now you got a lap car that's trying to get by him here that already pitted. Now he's in the wall. We have to keep an eye. I mean, ideally for Anderson, Zabozin has to pit, and everyone else does too, and he doesn't gain any more spots, or well, no one else does, and Zabozin's the only one that has to pit, but he's also going to make it himself. But 11 to go, coming to 10 to go. The lap car trying to get by. He's got Molnix on his back bumper. Anderson with a lot of pressure in the lead. His lap car tries to go to the bottom, and cutting it to the way. It's going to hold up Molnix.
As Ruben Rojas, I think, coming out pit lane right here.
And Ruben Rhodes locks up with a brace to get down to pit road. This could be tight on fuel. 10 to go. The thing is, what are these drivers doing? Are they taking tires? Or are they taking fuel only? So late into this race, is it really worth taking 4 tires? Just take 2, or maybe just top it off.
I believe Wilson might have took 2. As Rojas misses the pit stall. He's still not in it yet. Wilson had a 10.1 second pit stop, so I believe he probably just took 2 there. But I don't even think you need to take 2 tires to fill it up. It looks like Rojas does the same thing.
And Jacob Wilson, he's 1 lap down currently the lucky dog spot. He's actually way quicker than Anderson. He gained a lot of time through 1 and 2 there.
Yeah,
I don't think
right now
it's really gonna make a difference.
They're about 2 seconds faster than our race leaders right now.
I think Anderson, he got that big gap to Molnix. He may have been saving a little bit. I have to see, he's got about a half-second gap back. With 8 to go, Sebosian is running 5th. Anderson did not saving fuel there, but Sebosian just running 5th. He just needs to make sure he can make it to the end. Well, Alex Anderson trying to pick off the win. He's got Molnix right behind him, just about half a second. 7 to go. Can they make it on fuel? We already saw multiple come down pit road.
Closing, passing Tim Clausen here for a 4th place spot.
Clausen falling back a little bit. I think Sebosian's probably good. Just how he was in traffic, just kind of taking it easy. Didn't really try to get by Clausen there. Just kind of slopped back in line. Maybe try to save a little bit more in the draft. To be tight, it's Molnix. He's actually kind of not really gaining a lot on Anderson. And that's going to be an extra spot for Connor Sebosian. So more front runners coming down pit road. Nate Bogus comes down pit road as well.
It's about 50-50 here so far. I mean, some drivers coming out pit lane, some staying out for now. But if you stay out too long, I mean, right now, pretty much if you guys pit, Wilson would be the winner here. Just so much quicker than everyone else. Just getting so much time taking those tires earlier on. And what I was talking about before, if you pit a little earlier, knowing that you can't make it, you have that advantage of just being so much faster and gaining that time early in the run. But here goes Molnix for the race win.
He's right there, 5 to go. Can they both make it on fuel? Currently, Wilson, he's 27 seconds back compared to these guys, so he's got to hope these guys run out of fuel. There's Brock Morris, so Brock Morris just going a lap down, so that's the difference between Wilson and tires. He's about a straightaway ahead of Morris. But 4 to go here. The fuel window was 40 laps. We're 40 laps into the run. How much longer can they stretch it?
Four laps to go. This one's going to be tight. Sebosian 3rd right now. Oh, Molnix in the wall. That basically eliminates his chance of winning right now. So Anderson Scott has to save fuel here. Make it to the line.
I have to see, even if he doesn't get the championship, at least he'll go out on a high note with the race win. But 3 to go. Molnix really falling back after getting the wall off of turn 2 there. I think it's Anderson's race win. All he's got to do is just make sure he can make it back.
Last 2.5 miles that we've been to, Anderson's been the race winner. Can you make it 3.5 miles in a row in the season? Also have the most wins this season too.
Anderson's been very fast this entire season, a very consistent season. He's had a couple bad races, and Sebosian just didn't really have bad races that benefited Anderson. But 2 laps to go here from Texas. 3 miles left on the season. Anderson, can he make it on fuel? Does he have enough? Seems to be backing up a little bit. Since the driver behind him there at the lap car.
Lucas Blake, they're 3 wide right now. They're blinking though.
Yeah, and here comes Molnix. Molnix is right there. He's got to navigate the blinking car of Aaron Vincent, I believe. But through 3 and 4, Anderson, our race leader. White flag, 1 to go here from Texas. 1.5 miles to go. Molnix now falling back even more. Anderson, can he make it back? 1.5 miles to go.
And no looking back now. Can't go on pit lane anymore. And the miles per gallon is looking pretty good here. At about a mile to go.
Even if Sabozzi cannot make it, there's only 9 cars in the lap, so I don't think he will lose enough spots. So I think Sabozzian, he's going to be the champion. But meanwhile, through 3 and 4, Anderson did what he needed to do tonight, just didn't get enough help. But Alex Anderson off of 4, he's going to win the Patti Engineering 150 at Texas as he runs out of fuel just at the line. But Connor Sabozzian, he will finish P3, and he will be your SuperStar ARCA Cup Season 1 champion.
What a finish that was. I think everyone ran out of fuel across the line. But man.
And they ran that fuel cell dry. As Connor Sabozzian, the champion, and Alex Anderson picks up the win. As both of those drivers going to celebrate.
If they even can.
I don't think they even have enough fuel.
Actually, it looks like Anderson might. Actually, I thought he ran out of fuel at the line, but
Might just have enough. Might just park it at the line. But there's Connor Sabozzian. Yeah, so neither of them have fuel. So it's like because the final race of the season, none of them have fuel to even do a burnout. But Alex Anderson, our race winner, Connor Sabozzian, our champion. But before we interview those drivers and also the rest of our top 3, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back here from Texas. Welcome back here to Texas Motor Speedway as the SuperStar ARCA Cup Series just finishing up Season 1. Connor Bosian able to pick up the championship. Before we interview our champion and the rest of our top three, let's take a quick look at our results for tonight's Padding Engineering 150. Alex Anderson, our second place driver in the championship, did what he needed to do, got the win, but just didn't get the help that he needed from Zabosian. But Daniel Molnick's able to pick up third. Connor Zabosian, our champion, finishing P3. Craig Martin finishing fourth. Samuel Hoff running our top five. Tim Clausen in his debut start finishing sixth. Dwayne Young finishing seventh. Jake Wilson finishing eighth. And Brock Morris running our lead lap drivers finishing ninth. Ruben Rodas running our top 10. Finish 11th was Tate LaPrette and Nathan Fryer finishing 12th. Nate Bogus finishing 13th. Nathan Johnson 14th. Thomas Spencer finishing 15th. Travis Sheet 16th. Jody Shelton in 17th. Jeremiah Holt will finish 18th. Caleb Winslow finishing 19th. And Kylie Jones running our top 20 tonight. Finishing 21st was Lucas Blake and Michael James finishing 22nd. Alex Rapine finishing 23rd. Michael Malm finishing 24th. 25th was the 55 of Dylan Lamp. Noah Benson finishing 26th. Dan Reverard, after living earlier, he's going to finish 27th. Mark Cofield finishes 28th. Aaron Benson 29th. And Christopher Wharton rounded our top 30. 31st tonight was the 56th of Alan Kennedy. Dustin Coggin finishing 22nd. Tim McBasketball finishing 33rd. 34th was 25 of Jimmy Geikis. And Jared Skinner running our 35 car field tonight. As after first caution, just unfortunate luck for that 7 machine tonight. But our results there, and we're gonna bring in our champion and also our third place finisher as well. We're gonna bring in our most importantly, we're gonna bring in our champion here from Connor Zabosian, able to pick up the championship and also with a third place finish tonight, able to get the championship. Most importantly, though, very consistent season. How's it feel to win the championship?
It feels pretty awesome. I gotta thank Marin Chevrolet, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, PPG, Painters Supply and Equipment, Michigan Independent Door Company, The Pleasure Zone, and Race Deck Button Boxes.
Yeah, able to get the championship tonight, and you had to manage this race perfectly tonight. And how were you able to keep your nerves calm tonight, knowing you didn't really have to, you know, you couldn't just really have a bad race. You just had to keep yourself clean. What was going through your mind tonight, and just trying to keep yourself calm, cool, and collected?
Yeah, the goal was to stay clean the whole race, but I had a few incidents up there early. I mean, I got a little tight off of 2, and Jared spun behind me, and then Alex ended up getting tight out of 2, and then I got Sam in the same way that Jared got wrecked as well. So it was definitely playing it on the risky side there, but I was just trying to stay close to my championship competitors. At the end there, I really thought they would run out of fuel up front and we would have this thing in the bag, but they did some impressive fuel saving, because I know Sam and I were saving fuel that whole last run and just barely ran out towards the end.
Yeah, and to talk to me a little bit about that as well with the fuel saving. How tight was it really there at the end?
I started probably about a gallon to the bad, and I saved up through that entire run, and by the end I think I had 3/4 of a lap to spare after we crossed the finish line. And I know the 2 guys in front of me, like I was running like 9th that run, I think, and almost all the guys had to stop and pit, but Alex and Daniel did a really great job saving, and they ran out coming out of 4, and I just couldn't get there in time.
Yep, still able to pick up a P3, and that's all you needed to do tonight to pick up the championship. And once again, congrats on your great season. But before we send you off on your way, you kind of already thanked all your sponsors, but go ahead and thank them again.
Yeah, I got the sponsor, so I'll come back and thank Sam Hoff for putting this league on. He's got a nice admin team, but he did a lot of the work getting this thing together, and he's worked his tail off to make it a great league. And I got to thank all the competitors that made this a great season. It was a blast around this season, and it was just fun to run around everyone.
Yep, you're still able to have a very solid season and pick up the championship. We'll hope to see you again next season. Once again, congrats again.
Thank you.
So that was our champion of Connor Zabosian, and now we'll bring in our second place in the points, as well as our race winner tonight of Alex Anderson. You did what you had to do. got out there, dominated most of the race, able to get the race win, but just unfortunately didn't have the help you needed from your championship rival. But still able to pick up the race win and go out on a high note. How's that feel?
It's bittersweet. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I feel I'd just start thinking of Dover if I didn't overcorrect, wreck myself out of 4. I probably could have had that, but yeah, it was a pretty fun race. I wasn't expecting it to be that fuel savvy towards the end. I ran out going out of turn 4. I was just coasting across the line. I couldn't do any burnouts or anything. So I was out of gas. Um, but yeah, no, it sucks. I mean, I said it Daytona, first race of the season, I finished second. I'm like, man, I'd rather finish anywhere else on the racetrack than second. And I guess that was an omen because we got there in the championship. But we get them next season. Hopefully, we'll make sure to not overcorrect out of 4 at Dover.
Yep, still able to very solid run for you tonight. But speaking of fuel, how close? I mean, you just barely ran out. How much did you have to really save in that last run there?
So I knew as soon as that yellow came out around lap 55 that it was going to be a factor, but I look, we take the green flag and I see that like we're maybe 2 or 3 laps away. And I'm like, no, there's no way. So I'm just pushing, I'm getting ready to pit within 5 to go. And then we get to around lap 75 and I see that it's dropped down to maybe we're a lap and a half, 2 laps short. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going for this. So from lap 80 all the way to the end, I coasting, shut the motor off, going into the corners so I could save a little bit of gas. And it ended up pretty much, I think if I hadn't started saving like a lap or 2 sooner, I wouldn't have made it because, like I said, I completely ran out of turn 4.
And luckily, you're able to get a big enough gap, still able to get that race win. But before you send it off on your way, Indy sponsor that link for tonight's race win and also a really great season, finishing second on the points.
I got to thank my biggest sponsors first, as always, my parents. You know, just the usuals. You guys for putting on a broadcast, Sam for putting on a show for everybody that showed up. Congrats to Connor on the championship, and also good race to Daniel. Really fun racing you towards the end there. Other than that, though, I think that's it. I'll see y'all next year.
Yeah, once again, congrats on your great season and tonight's race win, and we'll see you next season.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good one.
As our race winner of Alex Anderson in second place in the points. We'll bring in our second place finisher of Daniel Walnix. Got 2 wins on the season, enjoying mid-season, and still able to, right there tonight, able to get second. Definitely going to be a future championship contender if he comes back next season. But talk me out tonight. Talk me through how your race went tonight.
Started off really good, then I got sent to the back. It was such a big field tonight. I didn't even think to look, but pit road was closed whenever I rolled out of my pit box, so that sent me to the back there. Had to work my way back up to the front, and then I was finally able to catch up with Alex, and then at that point it was just kind of an aero game. He blocked me a little bit here and there, but that cost me time, and then at that point lap cars kind of kept putting me in bad spots, but all in all, it wasn't a bad night.
Yeah, still able to pick up a second place finish tonight, even with your limited starts this season. How well do you think your season went tonight? And just expect, I mean, you did very well in all your starts you did. And what do you think you can do? Well, what do you think you're going to feel like going into the next season? And what do you think you got that shot at that championship next season?
I mean, wins are nice, but consistency is what wins it. I mean, look at Connor. I think he's only had one win on the season, but I think he probably averaged a top 7 or 8, and that's usually good enough to do it. So, but yeah, I feel good about next season. I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, once again, congrats on your second place finish tonight and multiple wins on the season. Before I send you off on your way, any sponsor thank for tonight's second place finish?
I want to thank you guys for putting this on. My spotters up in the tower looking over for me, and Sam putting it on. It's a really fun league. If anybody's not in there and wants to get in, contact them about it.
And once again, congrats tonight on your second place finish. We'll see you next season.
All right, thank you guys.
So second place finisher of Daniel Molnix, and overall a very exciting race and very exciting way to end the season tonight. A very consistent season for Connor Sposey and a well-deserved champion ship tonight. But what was your final thoughts on tonight and the season, Talon?
That was overall just a great race and a great season. Came down to pretty much the last few laps and seeing who can save fuel, which running there kind of, didn't really see a lot of fuel mileage races this season, but came down to that. But Anderson, he did as much as you could, like you kind of said, and nothing really else.
Yep, and he did what he needed to do. Won tonight. Just didn't really have the luck at a couple races of the season, and Sabosian just had just a little bit better luck, able to not have. I mean, really, you could have afford to have one bad race, but just Anderson unfortunately just had two. Just unfortunate. Sabosian only had the one that he could afford, and Sabosian was able to take advantage of it and able to get the points championship by 38 points over Alex Anderson. And that, I mean, especially as we just got done with Daniel Malnix, I think he'll definitely be a very big championship threat next season. I think next season's gonna be a very fun one.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, 2 wins already. Didn't even do the whole season. Ran up front here tonight also. So I think he has a definitely next season. Just depending on how the schedule works out for him and also the tracks also play a factor.
Yep, and I can't wait to broadcast next season with you again. But meanwhile, before we get there, we got some other things we have on the season coming up here on the Legends Race Network. It's Friday night. We'll have the NAR Cup Series. They'll be back in action. They're a little break as well. We'll be having the All-Star Race at Talladega. So a little fun race. It's just kind of keep your nerves off for the playoffs for the NAR Cup Series on Friday night. Saturday night, we'll have the Volt Racing League. They'll be going to Lime Rock Park. So that will be definitely a fun race to watch at the road course. And on Saturday night, we'll have the Stampede Racing League. They'll be going to Atlanta. So another super speedway at the end of the weekend. And then also on Tuesday night, we'll have the Volt Racing League Tuesday Night Thunder. They'll be going to the Watkins Glen at the road course. So that will definitely be fun to watch for all those races coming up here on the network. And we'll also have next season in a couple weeks for the SuperStar ARCA Cup season number 2. Overall, it was a very fun season to commentate and also a very fun race to commentate tonight. As I'm Aaron Frown, joined alongside my co-commentator and producer of Talon Drake tonight. So long here from Texas. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network.